So we're gonna, you got to write all of this. So while you're writing it down, I'm going to talk. You'll have plenty of time to write it down. I won't just blurt out the answer. But Irene made a mistake when she solved this inequality. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to identify the properties of equality and then see if she applied them properly. So the first one that I see here is it looks like in step one, from step one to get from step one to step two, it looks like she just kind of pushed the 6 through to the 3. Okay. So you guys don't need to write all the words, just write down the equations, right? Just write down step one and then the equation, step two, and then the equation, stuff like that. So that is the distributive property, right? She distributed that, right? The distributive property pushed the -6 through. So -6, so what I want to do is make sure that her math is right. So -6 times x is -6x. Then I'm going to push -6 times +3. That is -18. And everything else stays the same. So then on the next line, it looks like they simplified. So to get step 3, they simplified. In other words, they just combined like terms. They took this -18 and added 10 to it. So let's double check our math. If I'm on a number line and I start way over here at -18 and I go 10 units this way in the positive direction, I should end up at -8, and that's what they had. So there's no mistake yet, as far as I can tell. All right, let's keep going. So now, to get to the next step here, it looks like, what would we normally do to solve this equation? To move the 8 to the other side of the inequality. What would I do to move this term? I'd probably add 8, right? So what I would do is I would just go ahead and add 8 to both sides. So if I add 8 here, I got to add 8 here. So these 8s would cancel, and I'm left with 8 minus 2, which is 6. So first of all, that's the additive property. And it's not of equality. I mean, it is, but we would say the addition property. And then right here, what do we do next? Well, we divide by -6, right? Okay. So that's the division property. I made one little mistake, and this is going to be a very important thing, and I want you to remember this always. When you multiply an inequality, and let me back up to multiply / divide an inequality by a negative number, and you need to write this down, you flip the inequality symbol. Okay? So I'm going to make that real big because that's the only thing that's going to screw you guys up maybe. So what did they do though? Did they flip the inequality symbol? No, they did not. So that was the mistake. The mistake is in step 5. So in step 4 and 5, between 4 and 5 is where they made the mistake. The real answer should be x is greater than -1.